What's up, guys? It's Parallax Abstraction, and this is the Geek Bravado Ramble. It's about 10:30 a.m. on Monday, November 7th when I am recording this. That's 2 days, well, kind of 1 day after Extra Life ended, so cheers, you glorious fools. Oh, good lord. Yeah, I am a little worse for wear this morning, but I'm not doing too bad. I'm well onto the road to recovery here, so... Yeah, this is my sort of yearly little post-mortem video and blog post about Extra Life. So it was, well, this was a hell of a year, I'm telling you what. So as you may have seen in my original pitch video, we turned things up to 11 this year. We did a 24-hour LAN party in the boardroom at Grade A, which is the managed IT company where I work here in Ottawa. And man, what a year it was. So let's front load this with some numbers, shall we? So first thing up, my own campaign, which is what a lot of my viewers want to know about. At time of recording right now, my campaign has currently raised $1,320 US for Chio. Now that's pretty damn good. Nothing to sneeze at, to be sure. It's a little bit less than last year, but more on that later. But here's the real kicker. When I created the Grade A IT All-Stars team, I set our initial goal to be $2,000 US raised for Chio. I thought that was a very lofty goal for our first year out, and I would have been thrilled if we hit it. At time of recording, the Grade A IT All-Stars have raised $4,615 US for Chio. I don't even. Like, seriously, never in my wildest dreams did I have even the concept of us raising that much money and more than doubling the initial goal. I am absolutely blown away by that. And I don't have the official standings yet on who raised the most money in Ottawa, both in terms of individuals and teams. But if the Grade A IT All-Stars are not the #1 team in Ottawa, then we are going to miss it by a friggin' hair. And that is a monumental achievement that everybody should be incredibly proud of. I still am having a hard time wrapping my head around it. So yeah, I have so much thanking to do in this video, and we're going to get to that, but one little note is that fundraising for Extra Life runs until the end of the year, and surprisingly, a lot of the money that is raised for Extra Life actually comes after game day up until the end of the year. So there's still time to donate if you want, whether it's to me or to another member of the Grade A IT All-Stars. I absolutely would encourage that. My fundraising's a little behind where it ended up last year, but we did cross $1,000, so I got to play Syndrome in one sitting, which, God help me, oh man. So I'm going to try to keep raising money during that because I'm just a little bit off my second stretch goal to play through Ziggurat in one sitting, and we could still totally hit that, and there's a chance we could get the Grade A team over $5,000, which would just be an absolute Everest level achievement for our first year out as a team. That would be amazing. So just so you guys know, the Syndrome playthrough, it is going to happen. It's probably going to be sometime in December because right now my girlfriend is out of the country. She's in New Zealand right now. And because of that, it is not really easy for me to do an 8 to 12 hour live stream in one sitting because I have to take the dog for his walk and other things like that. So we're going to wait until she comes back, which she comes back on December 2nd. So I'm going to plan it for sometime in that month. So follow at PXA Media on Twitter and you'll get the details of that when that comes about. In addition to that, and I didn't actually really talk about this before, but Devin Payette, who was at Grade A with us for the entire 24 hours, had his own stretch goals. And if he raised $500, which he did, I agreed that I would co-op System Shock 2 with him. And while if you think I'm a weak sauce when it comes to horror games, Devin and his friend were playing The Walking Dead Season 1 on their stream. And while that's disturbing, it is not really that scary, and they were freaking the hell out. So him and I playing through System Shock 2 is going to be a treat, trust me. So I'm going to stream and record it, and he probably will as well. That will also probably happen sometime in December, but we're obviously going to keep trying to raise money during that time. So we may... there may be some big surprises yet to come, so watch for that. And I think playing through Ziggurat in one sitting is going to be really good too. So if you can help me get to $1,500, that would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, what a day, man! Oh my God. considering that I kind of waited a little bit too long to pitch this idea out to my coworkers, and considering that, I'm amazed at how well the event ran, how smoothly it worked, how quickly it all came together, and just how much everyone dug in and made it something so amazing like it was. I can't thank my coworkers enough. I mean, we had a lot of organizing to do. We had a lot of setup to do, and everybody came together and made it happen. And we raised as I said, we raised way more money than I ever could have imagined. Thanks to those people. Yeah, there's so many people to thank. I mean, the first thing I do want to say there is, if you saw my intro there and got that inside joke, then you probably know who I'm talking to here. But we unfortunately had a couple of people registered for the team who were super, super psyched for the event. That would be Sil, Steve, and Phil. And they really wanted to come, and they were not able to. Phil and Steve, unfortunately, both got sick. 'Tis the season, and we work in an open concept office, so that's kind of what happens. And Sil had a last minute sort of family emergency come up that he had to deal with, and he still wanted to try to come when he got back from that, but he was just completely worn out when he got home, and it's all totally understandable. And I just wanted to let you guys know that it wasn't the same without you, and everybody was thinking and talking about you and wishing you were there. So I'm really... It's too bad you guys couldn't come, but I'm pretty sure this is going to happen again next year. So I hope you guys can come then, because it would have been that much more amazing with you guys there. Yeah, Grade A is a special place, and you know, it's even as IT companies go, we are a group of hardcore nerds in that place who love all the various nerdly pleasures in the world, and it's a very tight-knit crew. You know, I haven't been there very long. I've been there, 7-8 months now? I started there in late March. And the number of people that I have met there who I would very proudly call friends at this point is really amazing. I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I am a very introverted, very almost hermit-like person. My girlfriend is too. And despite the fact that I've spent the last 20 years or so working in various forms of what is really customer service, I kind of hate people. You know, I tend to have a very small group of friends. You know, if I think someone's cool, I will bend over backwards for them, but it doesn't take a lot beyond first impressions for me to determine whether a person is someone that I am interested in or not as a friend. That's just the way I'm wired. But the number of people at Grade A who I would now proudly call friends is very large. And that is really a testament to the culture of that company that the owners have fostered and that they have let us foster as people there. It's a place unlike anywhere I've ever worked before. I've worked in places that I really enjoyed, but Grade A is among the very best places that I've worked, and it's in no small part because of the people there. You guys are amazing, and it was truly an honor and a privilege to be able to do all this with you. And Extra Life went from something that I started doing by myself in my apartment 6 years ago to one of the most important and gratifying elements of my life. It is something that I take extremely seriously. You know, I have made friends in the Ottawa Guild, and the amount of progress that we have made as a group has been incredible. And that I was able to share this with so many great people from Grade A and do so much incredible good from it is just something I can't express how I'm not good at quantifying things emotionally, but I can't express how grateful I am to have had this opportunity with you guys. And you guys seem to dig doing it, and you seem interested in doing it again. And I really hope we can make this a tradition there. You're amazing people, and you did incredible good this weekend, and you should all be so damn proud of yourselves. You have no idea. Similar to my colleagues in the guild, our first year as a guild was a little rough because we were just trying to figure out what to do, and we were flailing around a little bit. This year, things really came together a lot better. We did a ton of events this year. We raised a ton of awareness. We got to do the Chio Telethon this year. This was actually my second Extra Life marathon this year. We did another 24 hours back in the summer on the set of the Chio Telethon, and that was unbelievable. And we got so much awareness, and brought this idea and this cause of what gamers can do for the world to so many more people. And it was amazing how far we've come. And we're already tossing ideas around on how to better run the guild next year and how better to drum up more stuff and get more people involved. And again, you guys should be so damn proud of yourselves. We have done so much together, and I can't wait to do more. This is a big deal for me. And yeah, it's it's just incredible. But yeah, you guys at Grade A made this the most successful year for Extra Life personally that I've ever been involved in, and I can't thank you enough for that. In particular, I want to shout out a few people. I really want to shout out Monica, who is one of our finance people there. Her family works in catering, and her fiance is a chef. And we were talking about what we were going to do for food during this event, because we were like, well, we can all order pizza, but that makes you feel like crap, and it's a bad thing to load up on heavy food like that when you're having to stay up and do a marathon event. And Monica was like, well, if you guys all want to give me like $20 each to pay for the materials, I'll take care of the food. And we were like, sure. And man, she fed us like friggin' kings. Like, she had everything from pancakes and French toast. She made us sandwiches. She had like this chicken stew thing and mac and cheese that was incredible. She had these 2 massive bags of cookies that she brought us. We had all kinds of chips. She had like 4 different kinds of homemade dip to have for like midnight snacks throughout the night. It was incredible. There's still a ton of food at the office. I'm kind of bummed that I'm off today because, man, I could still get in on that. And all she did was charge us for the materials. She made it all for us for free, along with her and her fiance Curtis. That was unbelievable, and it made the event so much easier to do. And you are a superhero, dear lady. Thank you so much for that. That was incredible. I want to give a shout out to Kevin as well, one of our senior network admins, who lent me his GoPro. The GoPro is, if you were watching the stream, we had the big shot of the room there with everybody playing. That was off of that. It was stuck in 4x3 for reasons I can't figure out, but it ran for 24 straight hours, didn't even break a sweat. So that was really cool. And, yeah, that helped a lot. So thank you for that, buddy. That was really awesome. And I really want to give a shout out to the people who were not registered for the team, but who still came by and hung out. Adam, who's one of our road techs, came by about 9 p.m. with his computer and stayed until 9 a.m. the next morning. He wasn't actually on the team, but he just came by and hung out. Dave, one of our level 2 techs, and his wife came by just to hang out and shoot the breeze with us for a while. That was really awesome. Ellen, one of the owners of Grade A, came by with his kids for a while and hung out, which was great. People who people who had no obligation to be there just showed up and sort of gave us a morale boost. And, that was really cool. Thank you guys for that. That was really, really nice of you. And, it helped things out a lot for sure. Of course, we had Devin and his buddy Cameron there for the entire 24 hours as well. They were doing their own live stream. They played some Undertale. They played some Walking Dead. I bought Devin Rocket League later in the evening so he could play that with us. The Grade A Rocket League matches at our lands are intense. And it was really cool for him to be able to get in on that. We have an HTC Vive at the office as well, so they got to go and play a bunch of that. I don't know if either of them had ever touched VR before, so that was they had a lot of fun with that. And that kid, man, Devin, honest to God, is the reason behind why, one of the driving forces behind why I do this thing. Because, he has some very serious health problems, and he outplayed almost all of us. He was at the Chio Telethon and at this thing, and he, at the end of the 24 hours, he was tired, don't get me wrong, but he got through all of it no problem. There was periods in the middle of the night where some of us were fading real bad, and we were like, oh God, are we going to make it? And they just kept going. And even when I was 13 and in good health, I don't know if I could have as easily done what he did today. Well, I say 13, he's 14, I apologize. But he just did it like it's nothing. And that is what is so inspiring about Devin, is he knows his situation, and he's not letting it faze him at all. He's just chugging on as if nothing's wrong. And I don't know if I could do that in his situation. And he is such an inspiration to me. And that's why everybody loves that kid so much, and why he's such an incredible friend of our guild. And, it was my pleasure to have you there, man, and I really hope we can have you back again because that was amazing. When I started at Grade A and I built Zylinder House here, well, not this thing, it's over here, but I gave Devin my old rig, and Grade A helped provide some of the parts that it was missing to give that to him, and he brought that thing there with him, and it was really cool to see him putting that thing to good use and giving it a good home and reinvesting it in Extra Life, if you will. Really something. I'm probably forgetting people, and if I am, I apologize. But I just want to thank everybody. We have several team members who raised. Hundreds of dollars each, which is more than I thought would happen. For our first year as a team, we absolutely destroyed it, and I have no doubt that we can grow this further. And the owners of Grade A and our marketing team, Michaela especially, is another person I want to thank. She gave me control of Grade A's Twitter account during the event, which, random doggy. She gave me control of Grade A's Twitter during the event, and, we probably lost a few followers because of all the spam, so I'm sorry about that. And she promoted us very heavily on the company's social media. We also got permission to put a little blurb in everybody's signatures in Outlook talking about the event and the team. I'm sure we got some donations for that. And yeah, the owners got behind it and, really helped support us in making this possible. And I can't thank them enough. As I said, Grade A is one of the best places I've ever worked already, and it's because of the people there. And you guys have a really special corporate culture there. Hold on to that with both hands and do not ever let it go, because that's what makes that place the success it is. And it is a massive success. And as we continue to grow and add more people, I hope this event can only get bigger. So thank you guys for that. And thank you to all my amazing coworkers. You guys and the Ottawa Extra Life Guild have made this the best year ever for this event. Maybe not for me in terms of money raised, but in terms of the experience, without question. And I really hope we can do it again. So, yeah, I always have a few criticisms in this thing, and they're not too big this year, to be honest with you. My only few complaints, and one of these is already being kind of addressed, which is cool, was that I was really disappointed in how, much like Twitch and YouTube do, Extra Life only really ever gave any promotion to the stuff that was already massively popular and didn't need the help this year. All the big teams from gaming sites who have easy ways to reach massive audiences already, they were the only people I saw Extra Life retweeting that day. Those places were going to raise a boatload of money regardless. They didn't need the help. But there were small teams out there, teams way smaller than ours, who were begging for just even retweets or something to bring in more viewers, and we got pretty much nothing. Just like Twitch and YouTube, I don't understand it. Promoting what is already popular and doesn't need the help is backwards. That's not how you grow sustainably. But I let them know that, and they actually wrote back and thanked me for the feedback and said they will pass it on. Don't know if that means anything, but they acknowledged it at least, and that is cool. This is a process, and it's a growing entity, so I hope that's something they will consider for the future, or for, when I'm doing my Syndrome stream or something to help things out. In addition to that, I'm really disappointed in some of the media outlets that I tried to contact this year, particularly the CBC, and that hurts me to say because I've been a longtime supporter of the CBC. CTV Ottawa actually very much helped this year because, they run the Chio Telethon, so they were obviously very big in involving us in that. And we also got to do a segment on CTV Ottawa Morning this past week, which got to drive the idea of this to a bigger audience, which was really, really good. But I emailed the CBC, multiple places at the CBC, and tweeted at them a number of times asking if they would talk about this, particularly on CBC Radio, because their morning and afternoon shows really like to highlight events like this in the city. I got nothing from them. Not a single response, not even them writing back saying, sorry, we're not interested in this, or we think CTV has this covered already. That would have been fine. I wouldn't have liked it, but it would have been fine. But they just completely ignored me. And that is really, really friggin' frustrating to see a public broadcaster pretty much completely shun a local charity event like that. And I don't know, man. I have been defending the CBC for a lot of years, but particularly in the last year, I have become really frustrated with the direction their coverage and what they think is worth talking about at length is going. And I'm not going to get into details here or rant about that, but the CBC, I don't know. I've been thinking for a while if it's really for me anymore. And yeah, the way they completely ignored this effort this year is pretty damn disappointing. So I don't know about that. We'll see anyway. In addition, I also hit up a couple of local businesses this year that I give a lot of business to and that Grade A also gives a lot of business to. Same thing. I got nothing from any of them. You know, if you don't want to donate, either because you don't really think this is the best place to put your money, or you don't have the money, or whatever, that's fine. You know, charity is a personal choice. I will not fault anyone for saying, you know what, I don't think this is for me. But just write back and say that. Like, maybe I'm too old school for this now. Maybe I just don't understand the way acceptable communication is these days. But when someone comes to you hat in hand and sends you a note asking for money, not for themselves, but for a venerated local institution, just write back and say you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't ignore them. That comes across to me as so much ruder. And of course, I'm not going to name names here, obviously, but that's not appropriate. But I don't know. It's very disappointing. If you don't want to donate, come back and say no, and I'll go away. You know, I will not hold it against you. But to just ignore me like that, especially when at least two of these places knew who I was and knew how much business I'd given them over the years, I don't know. That's not cool. Not cool at all. But, yeah, you know, it is what it is. That's really the only criticisms I had this year. By and large, this was an incredible thing. And, yeah, I kind of don't know what else to say about it. It was amazing, and I hope we get to do it again soon. And, I can't wait to do more of this. So there will be details on my Syndrome stream coming up. We'll see here, and I hope we can raise a lot more money for this. Chio is, as I've said before, if you were ever a kid in this town or ever had a kid of your own in this town, you know what Chio is, and you know how incredible it is and how valuable it is to the people of Ottawa. It's an incredible thing, and they recently took our guild through a tour of the hospital, and it really hit home to me just how much good this thing does and why Chio gets behind this. And, you know, especially in the last couple of years, the mainstream media, and in particular the gaming press, I've talked about this repeatedly, they have seemed to believe that attacking their audience is the smartest way to success. And the gaming press now seems to be all about finding ways to tell gamers they're bad people. And I would just like to say to all those, you know, hack bloggers who day after day write article after article about all the bad things gamers do, how much money did you raise for sick kids this weekend? Because you know what? Gamers raised a ton. And I dare say that we did a hell of a lot more good for the world than any of you guys did, you know, writing about how evil gamers as a whole are because of a few bad apples. And, if I have to choose who is a more valuable thing to have representing the medium of gaming, I think that choice is obvious. And, you know, maybe one day some of these people will do a little bit of self-reflection and think about that. Because when gamers come together, incredible things happen. And this is a prime example of that. And it's one of the most important things I've ever done, and I hope to keep doing more of it. Everyone involved in this, whether from the guild, from Grade A, or anyone else who did Extra Life, you are a superhero. You did good, incredible good, and you should feel so damn proud of yourselves, because you are friggin' rock stars, and you did something. You did a lot more good than a lot of people in this world do, and that is something to be proud of. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I still love doing this, and I hope I can keep doing it indefinitely. And I hope you guys can keep in it with us as well. So thank you guys very much for watching. Obviously, if you like the video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. That does help me out a great deal. And like I said, follow @PXA Media on Twitter. There will be more info on my Syndrome stream coming soon. That's going to be a hell of a thing, well worth watching, and hopefully we can bring some more money in for Chio at that time. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take it easy, guys.